From there we visited, I think it was Kaduna, which is one of the oldest stations in Nigeria again. I knew that Kaduna was the one that had bought a lot of Doctor Who's back in the 1960s. That's where the paperwork said it was sold to. And they disposed of all of their film, not quite all of it. I remember asking to go and look in an old prop store, which was the place they kept the film. And me being me, I was climbing over shelves and stuff like that, and there was a carpet there, and I pulled the carpet back, and lo and behold, there were 2 episodes of The Sky at Night from the 1960s, which was a nice thing to find. The next day we went to Jos, which was in Bueno Plateau. You know, you go to these places and you don't have any expectation of what you're going to find. You're going into a system that's long been broken down. And when you've been to Kaduna, you realise the film's been disposed of, and you think to yourself, well, everything's gone. You know, and is this going to be the pattern for everywhere else? If it is, that's fine, we can accept that, because it puts an end to any rumour or anything like that, which is important. And we'll move to the next station and see what's there. However, when we got to Jos and we got inside, this was a station that had not been touched in you know, probably 40 years. Things were still on the shelf, and that's where I found the Doctor Who's. The film store was quite a small area, really. Lots of Dexian racking all around, and bits of masking tape, sort of The World About Us, and you know, a couple of other programmes, some American shows. And then there was this small piece that said, oh, Doctor Who on it, and I thought, hang on, let's take a look at this. Looking at the cans, and the content inside, obviously they matched. It was a really exciting moment. You know, it's one of those moments you think, oh, what am I going to do now? We were really lucky with the condition of the films. The room they were stored in wasn't air conditioned. It was a dark room. Some of the films that had been stored there, I think there was a Morecambe and Wise print there, was just basically mush. It was, you know, it was a sad thing to see, because it was one of the early first series they did for the BBC, for BBC Two. Upon examining those Doctor Who films, all 12 of them, they were in pretty good condition, I thought. Not perfect. No, I wouldn't say that, you know, there wasn't any strong sense of vinegar or anything like that, but I think we arrived just in time. I think any longer, and I think we'd have had real problems recovering those programmes. So we arrived, you know, absolutely in the nick of time. And strangely enough, I spoke to the guy who actually bought the programmes for Kaduna, and he said, oh, I have instructions to destroy those. So I said, no, please don't destroy them. We're quite happy to have them back as per the original contract, which was to destroy, return, or send to another broadcaster. So our intervention there was very, very timely.